In the wake of the Canada Post strike, I think the solution is obvious. We should just privatize or shut down Canada Post. Look how much money they've been losing every year. 800 million, 500 million, they're down 3 billion in the last 5 years. And the reality is it's 2024, soon to be 2025, and letter mail is outdated. We have email. You can immediately communicate with anybody in the country via text message, phone. There's really very little need for mail delivery. Everything's done online. Even in the remotest part of Canada, you can get satellite internet. Elon Musk is offering with Starlink high speed, low latency connections at pretty reasonable prices, even if you're way out in the north. There's lots of other companies that can pick up the slack when it comes to parcel delivery. I really don't see what the case for continuing Canada Post would be. You know, we can shut it down, can stop this hemorrhaging of money, can make some money off selling off the Canada Post businesses and assets, and then furthermore, all these Canada Post locations, once uh, auctioned off in the hands of the market economy, can go towards being whatever is most needed. You know, maybe it's a bakery, maybe it's a coin laundry, right? Whatever is going to make the most potential profit because it's what consumers want, then that's what uh, people, entrepreneurs, will build in that location. So it's going to go from being a massive drag on the economy to actually benefiting people and providing valued services. Canada Post employs about 70,000 people. We all know they do very little work. And the reality is, if we eliminate these jobs, then those people are going to go into the private sector. They're going to be doing productive work, actually creating wealth for people instead of simply enjoying a very leisurely lax duties. Okay, so what about people living in remote areas? Don't they have a right to receive mail? No. Look, if you want to go live out in the wilderness, that's your choice. But I don't see why everybody has to be forced to subsidize everybody else's bad decision. There's no right to receive mail. If it costs you $20 to receive a letter or a parcel because you live way out in the middle of nowhere, then it should cost you $20. Why should other people be forced to subsidize your lifestyle? We're already struggling to pay our own bills. Why do we have to pay other people's bills as well? I mean, just look at the facts. Paying somebody $31 an hour to walk around delivering mail, that's ridiculous. When there's so many people that would do the same job for 25, $20 an hour, this isn't about what's affordable. It's about how you can benefit that one person at the expense of everybody else, the rest of society. With a market economy, businesses have to compete. So why would they pay somebody $30 an hour when somebody can do the job for 20 or 15? They wouldn't. Okay. And and sure, that's great for the one person who gets the $31 an hour. But what about everybody else who has to pay for that in terms of higher payment for mail, or in the case of subsidies, then they pay it through the taxpayer? I mean, walking a mail route, that's not exactly rocket science. Pretty much anybody can do it, and it's a pretty easy gig compared with a lot of different jobs out there. You look at Amazon, you look at FedEx, and the expenses to operate their vehicles are a lot lower. I mean, Canada Post, because it's a monopoly, is just an extremely inefficient business. And that's the problem with crown corporations, is that because they get subsidized by the government, they can be inefficient. They're not subject to market forces. There is no creative destruction. You just have this horribly inefficient entity that just costs taxpayers more and more every year because there's so much bloat, there's so much waste, there's so much make work positions where they're paying people artificially high salaries and they're not really doing much work. Again, it's benefiting a tiny elite at the expense of all consumers, all taxpayers, everybody in society, aside from the privileged mailmen. Bottom line, we don't need Canada Post. There's billions of assets, maybe more than 10 billions of assets in the company. You privatize it, you auction it off, you use that money to help pay down the deficit. And there's going to be a lot of benefits from privatizing it, from all those Canada Post buildings going on the open market, all the Canada Post employees having to find real jobs